Hey Centra, we are so glad to be back here again with Andy Schluter. We're going to talk a little bit more today about some of the services we learned about last week, but we wanted to learn a little bit more of the detailed information of why we would choose some of those plan options. So Andy, today we want to talk about some voluntary services and why we would choose those. So I'm thinking short-term disability. What would be the purpose to have short-term disability and opt into that program?
Great question, and it's great to be back in the same suit again this week. So disability, I think about it as almost paycheck insurance,
Okay.
right? So we all work, we come to work, and we do it so that we can get a paycheck and pay our bills.
Absolutely.
Well, what happens if we get sick or hurt and we're not able to come to work? That's where the short-term disability plan would kick in.
Okay, great. What about if I have a child? Does it work for that?
It does. So we do cover maternity on the plan,
Okay.
just like any other illness, which is horrible to say, but it is. It is an event, a health event that is going to put somebody out of work for a period of time. So that is covered on the plan.
Okay. And how does that work? I've heard that there's like a number of days that you have to wait to get that to kick in, and then how much of my paycheck does it cover?
Sure. So there's a couple different options on the plan, and depending on how much you want to spend, you can elect to have your coverage start after 14 days of being out of work or after 30 days of being out of work. So if you have savings or other financial protection things that you can rely on, then maybe you choose the 30-day because you'll pay less money in order to get it.
Great.
And then after that period, that waiting period, or we call it an elimination period, then coverage would begin, and an employee would receive a percentage of their income. So it's actually a 60% benefit up to $1,500 per week.
Okay.
And that will last either 11 weeks or 13 weeks, depending on the waiting period that you chose.
Very good. Well, that's great information. Thank you for sharing about that. So we also have a few other voluntary services that can be elected. Can you tell us about those options and why someone might want to choose those?
Sure. So we've got the accident plan and also the critical illness plan. And I think, we think about both those plans as being supplement or almost a buy-up to your health insurance benefit.
Good.
So you've got your PPO plan, right? And then your high deductible health insurance plan. Both those plans are great plans, but have the potential for out-of-pocket expenses for employees.
That makes sense.
Right? Deductibles, co-pays, co-insurance, certainly more so with the high deductible plan.
Absolutely.
So when I'm thinking about an accident or a critical illness plan, I'm thinking about, okay, do I want to have that potential out-of-pocket exposure? Do I want to have some benefits that can help me with that co-pay or deductible? So the accident plan, as an example, is popular with families that have younger children, right?
Because they might fall and break something.
They might fall. They're typically active in sports, and you have potential for emergency room visits and different things. And again, they're going to trigger co-pays, deductibles. So the accident plan would pay me or my family benefits in the event that we have an accident and an injury and then treatment associated with that.
So is that for every injury that happens? If I have two kids and one gets in an accident in the spring and the next one gets in an accident in the fall, can I use that same benefit both times?
Absolutely, yeah. There's no limit or cap on the benefits. So it's all event-based. So each injury or accident is going to trigger the benefits.
Okay, very good. That's very good information. So then we also have critical illness, and we'll post a listing of what that might cover, but what would be the event that you might choose one of those options?
Sure, same thing. You think about a critical illness and more serious events that are unexpected and certainly are difficult to plan for, but are going to create, again, the need to use your health insurance and potentially get into those deductibles and co-pays and co-insurance. So events are actually our three leading payouts on the critical illness plan are heart attack, stroke, and cancer diagnoses.
That's great to know.
So if I have one of those diagnoses after I purchase the coverage, that's a key thing. I've got to have that event occur after I'm enrolled and the benefit begins. then depending on the amount of benefit that I elect, I'm going to get a payout. And that payout is designed to help the employee with the financial impact of a serious health event. That's probably going to put them out of work.
Yeah.
Again, probably going to generate some out-of-pocket expense on the health insurance plan. So usually there's a good need for that money.
All right.
Okay.
Very good. Well, thanks so much, Andy. If you have additional questions, we will post Unum's contact information so you can call and ask more deep information. And then we will also list our own benefits team that you can reach out to as well. So thanks for being with us again, and we will talk with you all next week.